Well, for more reaction, let's go to John LeBoutier, former Republican congressman for the state of New York. He joins us now. John, the other panel members are out there somewhere, your colleagues Pat Caddell and Doug Schoen, but they're in Cleveland, so we may not be able to get them for a moment. But let's start with you as a panelist and someone who's been a Republican and watching day two. What say you about how day two went? I mean, there were a lot of people there tonight who were trying to find out how do you make America work again, but they're also looking for a way of saying, okay, it's time for the party to come together and coalesce around Donald Trump and his status of trying to make America great again.
Yeah, I think they had a good night, but I think, and I said this to Heather off air, I wish there was a little more pro what Trump is going to do to make America great again, what are his specifics, not just saying we're going to crush ISIS, we're going to fix this. Let's get into a little bit about how we're going to do it. And we need Trump to be seen as a nicer guy than a nasty guy, a smiley guy, not a snarling guy. He needs to soften his image up a little bit to win over reluctant voters. They don't like Hillary. They don't want to vote for Hillary. That's clear. I think the convention tonight was very heavy on anti-Hillary, and it's unnecessary. The country doesn't want to vote for her. When Doug Schoen comes on here, he's worked for the Clintons. He'll tell us on the air there is a resistance to Hillary among voters. They don't like her.
Well, let's find out if Doug, in fact, does have that to say, because I think that we do have them now. Also with us, Pat Caddell, former pollster for President Jimmy Carter, Doug Schoen, one-time advisor for President Bill Clinton. Glad to see you guys there in Cleveland. Doug, I'll let you start. Follow up.
Well, look, I think John is right. There is an obvious resistance to the Secretary of State. You could hear Basil before really fumbling to try to come up with any substantial accomplishments of the Secretary in terms of your question, Heather. And frankly, the answer to why the Republicans are going negative is because the argument against Secretary Clinton is a strong one, gotten stronger by what FBI Director Comey said. And I agree with John that Donald Trump has to flesh out his agenda with specifics. I think that's what we're going to hear on Thursday night, and certainly my own recommendation if I were advising the Trump campaign, which I most assuredly am not, in the same way I'm not advising the Clintons, but my own advice would be to be detailed, specific, positive-looking, and forward-looking. Put another way, exactly what John LeBoutier said, I believe, are the imperatives for Thursday night.
All right, very
for the
good
Republican
point, Doug.
nominee.
But Pat, I want to ask you this question based on what Doug was just talking about, detailed, specific, and positive, and then going back to what John was saying about how to make Donald Trump look softer and gentler and kinder. I think the person who did that tonight better than anyone else was his son.
Yes. I think his children have done a great job for him, and I think his youngest daughter did tonight. And I think Donald Jr. was really strong. I think his wife helped him. I think tomorrow his other son, Eric, and then his daughter, Ivanka, is going to introduce him. They've done a lot for this, and people are seeing that, and it's being played in prime time. And that's helping to soften it. I disagree a little bit, not in the general thrust of what John and Doug are saying, but I think that Trump is, the personality's got to come through, but his positive message has to have an edge to it. He is the nominee of a party, has really kind of seized control for one reason, which is that he has taken on the establishment. He has been the voice of a country that is absolutely ready to overthrow the political class, of which Hillary Clinton is the prime static member of, and that's very strong. And to the point about Hillary, just quickly, it's going to get worse because the Clinton, I found out today, the Clinton Cash movie, which I have seen about the foundation and the real scandals, is being released, not in theaters. It's going to go on the internet. Everyone's going to be able to see it this weekend. It's going to be a real trouble for her.
Pat, thank you.